Thanks for joining us here on the CBN News Channel. I'm Ephraim Graham. For millions in the Midwest, today's focus is not so much celebrating Memorial Day, but coping with severe weather. There's massive flooding from Iowa all the way down to Texas, and in the Northeast, there's snow. Heather Sells brings us the story.
In South Texas this weekend, flash flooding killed 3. One victim, a 17-year-old boy, was overwhelmed as he tried to cross a swollen creek. The city of San Antonio responded to 250 rescue calls. In one neighborhood, crews had to rescue 54 people, mainly by boat.
It's nothing I have ever experienced before. I have never done this.
The mayor of San Antonio urged locals to stay off the roads as the city endured its second wettest day ever on record.
It is frustrating, but what can you do? You gotta wait it out.
In Iowa, parts of the state are also underwater. Rivers are swelling, and volunteers are laying down sandbags.
It's really bad. I've never seen it this bad. Cornfields, there's a park down here. It's all underwater.
Meanwhile, in the Northeast, believe it or not, it's been snowing. More than 3 feet have come down on Whiteface Mountain in New York. There's skiing in Vermont, and in New Hampshire, deck chairs got a winter look. But in Washington, weather concerns took a back seat to celebrations honoring our nation's servicemen and women. No weather problems there for now. Heather Sells, CBN News.
And flash flood warnings were issued today for parts of Iowa, Illinois, as well as South Dakota. It was exactly 1 week ago the deadly tornado touched down in Moore, Oklahoma. Sunday, President Obama visited the devastated town, assuring residents the government and American people will stand behind them as they pick up the pieces.
When we say we're going to be there until you completely rebuild, we mean it. We're going to be there as shelter from the storm. When we say that we've got your back, I promise you, we keep our word.
During his time in Moore, the president urged Americans to give money and moral support to the community, saying the amount of damage is, quote, pretty hard to comprehend. The White House says the Federal Emergency Management Agency has already provided $57 million in rebates to people in Moore. FEMA is also offering incentives to help build about 12,000 storm shelters in Oklahoma. CBN's Operation Blessing deployed to Moore right after the tornado hit. This Memorial Day weekend, Operation Blessing partnered with churches to help bring relief to the community. Since Friday, more than 830 volunteers have come out to help in the efforts. Sunday alone, OB served more than 800 meals and worked to clean up storm debris and tarp roofs to prevent further damage. Operation Blessing is also providing spiritual and emotional support, taking time to pray with the people of Moore. The tornado that hit the town cut a trail of destruction 17 miles wide. John Jessup brings us this look back through the eyes of a resident who survived and is now lending a helping hand.
Get in your tornado shelter, get in your safe area. There it is, Mike, look at that.
For Chris Molsness, who grew up in Moore, his first plan of action was to go to school and get his 2 young kids, Nicole and Tyler.
I had gone and picked up my kids from Santa Fe Elementary to get them with me because I knew that they would be the safest with me.
From a distance, he managed to capture this video of the EF5 tornado's violent path through Moore, the town he grew up in. Then he made his way to 4th Street, where he had spent a lot of time helping build the city's disc golf course, which the tornado destroyed.
I guess it was kind of like an autopilot feature, just coming down 4th Street naturally.
He was among the first people to help victims on the scene.
There was just no questions about it. I knew that people were hurt and were going to need some help.
There, he found a 29-year-old mother who died, along with her 4-month-old baby boy. An Army veteran, he says he tried to help her, but it was too late. For a moment, he regretted having his children there.
Unfortunately, with them being with me, they got to see some things I really wish they shouldn't have.
But he believes it has the potential to change their lives for the better.
I hope it makes them stronger. I hope it makes them more caring. And, it teaches them how to love, to get back to their fellow man.
It's a lesson they're learning from their parents firsthand. Ever since the storm hit, Molsness, who goes by the nickname Sparky, and his wife Renee have been helping friends and strangers with the kids in tow. He spent next month's rent check, $1,300, to buy food, water, and other supplies to help their neighbors in need.
Hopefully that they see that and they can gain some strength and turn around and give somebody else some support.
And really just being here, you begin to see that it really takes a team of volunteers, those from the community and those who aren't, to really make the recovery possible. John Jessup, CBN News, reporting in Moore, Oklahoma.
The man charged in the terror attack on Fort Hood is still getting a paycheck from the U.S. military. Army Major Nidal Hasan stands accused of killing 13 people and wounding 32 others in that attack at Fort Hood in November of 2009. Hasan is behind bars awaiting trial, but the Washington Times reports he's still received $278,000 in pay since then. Meanwhile, the people he shot are not getting combat pay from the attack because the Army has classified it as a workplace violence. Joining us now with more is Jessie Jane Duff, a retired gunnery sergeant from the U.S. Marine Corps and now with Concerned Veterans of America. Well, this story is shocking. The man who's accused of killing 13 fellow servicemen and women is still getting a large military salary. Should the military consider revamping its uniform code of military justice?
Well, I believe that they should. As it stands right now, a lot of people don't realize that if you're on active duty and you're charged with a crime, you will receive your pay until you're actually convicted. So Nidal Hasan is not a unique individual. It does pertain across the board to all active duty military. But with this case, I think this would be a time for people to take a second look at what our policies currently stand as.
Indeed. Now, this was clearly a terrorist attack. Hasan was inspired to do this because of an al-Qaeda terrorist. How could this be just workplace violence, keeping the victims from receiving combat pay?
Well, the Army has come out and said that once the evidence surfaces during trial, that does demonstrate that this was a terrorist act and that he was influenced to be radicalized, they will reclassify it. A lot of people aren't aware of that, though. And so the workplace violence thing is maybe moving forward in a positive direction after trial, and it will get reclassified. And hopefully all of the victims will receive the benefits and the Purple Hearts that they are justifiably earned.
The president just gave a speech saying we are now fighting a war against extremists. Do we make a mistake when we ignore the Islamist roots of the terrorists like Nidal Hasan?
Oh, absolutely. There was definitely records of him contacting Anwar al-Awlaki, and he had a lot of correspondence with him. He was radicalized, and I think a lot of those red flags were ignored. So, you know, in this era of extremist Islamist behavior, we have to take note of people that are making contact with those that are practicing that type of behavior.
Indeed. Jessie, there is another injustice that other American veterans are facing right now. Tell us about the million vet backlog.
Oh, this is a terrible situation with our Veterans Administration. Right now, there's over 1 million veterans waiting for their medical claims to be addressed by the VA. And what this means is that people are waiting to receive the medical services or the money that they're allocated from their medical injuries while they were on active duty, whether it be a disability or PTSD. So we have over 600,000 veterans right now that have been waiting over a year. 20,000 veterans a year are dying before they even receive their claims. 55 a day.
That is unreal. Real quickly, what can viewers do to help vets in these circumstances?
Well, I can Concerned Veterans for America, we do have a petition we really desperately want everyone to sign. It's called millionvetbacklog.com. You can go there and please sign it. We're trying to get 20,000 signatures so that we can get the VA to move forward with this and get General Shinseki relieved. Basically, in the 5 years that he's been in place as the Veterans Administration Secretary, the claims have gone over the exceeded amount by 2,000%. So there's 97% of those claims are still done manually. They're not even done electronically. So we must get this addressed and changed.
Indeed, indeed. Jessie Jane Duff, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And for more on this story, you can visit our website, cbnnews.com. I want to turn overseas now. Tens of thousands marched in Paris Sunday to protest a new gay marriage law. Although the law went into effect more than a week ago, the protesters went ahead with their long-planned demonstration to show continued opposition. The event was peaceful much of the day, but as night fell, several hundred protesters clashed with police. Officers ultimately arrested 100 people who refused to leave at the end of the demonstration. Experts say France's debate on marriage has exposed deep conservatism in the heartland and discontent with the socialist government. New details today in last week's deadly attack on a British soldier. One of the suspects was arrested in Kenya back in 2010. Officials say Michael Adebolajo was getting ready to train and fight with the al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group al-Shabaab when he was taken into custody. After his arrest, he was handed over to British authorities, leading some to ask what UK officials knew about the suspects in the apparent terror attack. So far, a total of 9 people have been arrested in relation to the killing. Coming up, America's elite forces. We take you to the front lines of Afghanistan for a secret operation.
Today we're on a field trip to discover what inflation is doing to our paper money. In this hand is a $20 bill, and in this hand is a $20 US gold coin. They used to have the same buying power, but how much can they buy today? In this first basket is what my $20 bill buys: milk, bread, peanut butter, and jelly. And here's what one $20 gold coin will buy: 6 baskets full, worth nearly $2,000, almost 100 times more food, simply by owning gold dollars instead of paper dollars. History shows that the gold coins have been the best way to beat the rising cost of living. So class, the moral is that unless you want to live on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the future, you should turn some paper dollars into gold coins now. How and why is explained in a new book, The Great Debasement. Call the number below for a totally free copy. And that's the simple truth.
Help! If an emergency happened right now, you can have help at the push of a button with Medical Alert.
Remember when I took that fall, Mary?
Oh, yes, that was terrible.
Yes, it was.
Help!
And I thought, what if you hadn't been there? I ordered my Medical Alert the next day.
I can't describe how safe I feel now with my Medical Alert. You didn't know I was wearing it, did you?
Medical Alert is easy to install, waterproof, and covers you inside your home and out.
It helps me feel safe from fires, break-ins.
And of course, a Medical Alert. And if you don't have a home phone, don't worry. They have that covered.
There's always help at the push of a button. Don't wait till you need it.
Get Medical Alert for less than $1 a day. There are no long-term contracts. Order now and get your second button free. Call for your free brochure.
For your free Medical Alert system with second button free, call 800-575-8507.
From CBN.
Broken Eardrum is playing at the Civic tonight.
And you'll just have to miss it.
This is so incredibly unfair.
A special story of love and sacrifice.
Joy, Mom comes up with something.
Christopher Quantum, you and I are going to discuss your attitude right this minute. Superbook.
No.
Join the Superbook DVD Club and get Superbook's newest episode, He is Risen. Plus 2 copies to share with others. All for your gift of $25.
They have arrested Jesus, the Messiah. Do you not know that I have the power to crucify you?
No! Please! You can't! They've taken him to Golgotha. We must hurry. Mary is about to lose her son. The worst thing any mother could face. I am not leaving her.
Superbook. It's an amazing way to build a strong spiritual foundation in the children you love.
Mary, who are you looking for?
I've seen him! He is alive!
Superbook. He is Risen. Available now.
The U.S. may be winding down its involvement in Afghanistan, but the war against the Taliban will continue long after ground troops pull out. American special forces have been training Afghans to carry out important missions in the future. Reporter Chuck Holton got a first-hand look at a secret operation.
Flying over Afghanistan's rugged and desolate landscape, it's easy to get a sense of the challenge facing military commanders on the ground. It's also clear why many Afghans have never even seen a U.S. troop. Vast areas of the country are still almost completely controlled by the Taliban. This power enables them to move weapons and continue fighting while also smuggling the opium that keeps money coming their way. One bright spot is the growing accuracy of U.S. intelligence gathering. These techniques allow special forces to penetrate remote areas and execute lightning-fast raids in Taliban-held territory. I traveled to western Afghanistan's Herat province, where a special operations task force is fighting the enemy in places where American soldiers have never been before. Classified intelligence uncovered a tiny village near the Iranian border that appeared to be a crossroads for drugs leaving the country and explosives coming in. These special operators began planning a midnight raid that would catch the bad guys by surprise in this Taliban-controlled town.
Right here, touchdown will be somewhere around here. Alpha element and Assault 2 is hitting building 50.
Tonight, we're going to be going on a mission in western Afghanistan, and we're going to be targeting an individual that has been determined is engaged in the distribution of narcotics, as well as the importation of weapons into Afghanistan for the insurgency. We're hoping to essentially seize any narcotics or weapons that he may have and collect any evidence that we can use to prosecute him.
Accompanied by Afghan commandos, we boarded 3 helicopters in the dead of night at the Special Ops base south of Herat. Then a high-speed, low-level flight deep into enemy territory. The blacked-out helicopters dropped the team just outside the village, and within minutes the commandos had it surrounded. A new moon meant almost zero light, making it hard to see, even with sophisticated night vision equipment. The unit quickly entered the village and began the difficult and dangerous job of clearing each compound. Military-aged males were rounded up for questioning, while translators assured the women and children that they faced no harm. Some persons of interest were found, though it wasn't immediately known if the team had caught the man they came for. When the mission commander was satisfied everything had been searched, the unit began preparing to leave.
Hey, Saul 1, we got everybody? Yeah. So let's get all the commandos, make sure we got a proper count. Once we clear it, once we get out of here, we'll take a right and start heading back.
This is the most dangerous part of the mission, getting out before daybreak. The element of surprise is long gone, and helicopters full of soldiers make tempting targets. After a tense few moments as the Afghans loaded their prisoners, the helicopters lifted off and headed back to base. The Special Forces are executing these kinds of missions on a daily basis around the country, training the Afghan army to take the lead and making the most of limited resources to ensure that although the Taliban may run, they won't be able to hide forever. Chuck Holton, CBN News, Herat Province, Afghanistan.
Up next, wounded warriors take on a new challenge. Watch these American heroes make it to the mountaintop when we come back.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
The physical and mental scars of our troops that they bring back from war can last a lifetime. Veterans treat those wounds in many ways. The road to recovery for one group of wounded warriors includes pushing themselves to the limit. Here's a look at one of our classic Memorial Day stories as Lee Webb joined them on an inspiring journey up Mount Rainier.
They put their lives on the line for our safety and freedom. Military men and women make a tremendous sacrifice on the battlefield, and many return home wounded and broken. More than 2 million disabled veterans live in the U.S., and that number grows every day.
It started off like any normal day. I was with a recon platoon.
Derek Ford served with the U.S. Army in Afghanistan, where an IED changed his life forever.
The entire floor of the Stryker had bubbled up from, just the energy and heat that tried to penetrate through.
Derek lost his leg in the explosion. An injury like this can be debilitating, but not for this soldier.
Tighten the shoulder strap.
He's focused on proving it's only a wound, not a disability. That's why Derek pushed himself to the extreme.
I've jumped out of perfectly good airplanes. I've, scuba dove in the Caribbean. Next on the list, climb a mountain.
Mount Rainier, or as the folks around here simply call it, the mountain, provides one of the most challenging mountaineering adventures anywhere in the U.S. About 13,000 people attempt to climb it each year. Only about half that many make it, and on average about 2 or 3 die trying to make it to the summit. It is a challenge even for the most able-bodied climber.
So Derek, here you go. Thanks.
2 other vets joined Derek in taking on this active volcano, including another amputee. Camp Patriot organizes the climb. The group specializes in taking disabled veterans on outdoor adventures.
That's the beauty of Camp Patriot, getting them out, trying something new, or doing something they used to do, not knowing if they can actually do it.
Micah Clark founded Camp Patriot. He's a veteran himself, whose strong Christian faith gives him a heart to help heal returning vets.
Hopefully show them through our love and compassion that, 1, we're Christians, 2, we're patriotic Americans, and that somebody loves them and cares about them. And that's the base to start from, and then you can open the door to possibly witness to them.
God, we lift up Eric and Derek and Mag to you, Lord, and just ask you to surround them with your angels and protect them as they climb this mountain.
The trek up the mountain is grueling. Custom-made prosthetic limbs help the men grip the snow-covered terrain.
We don't carry them to the top of the mountain. They've got to do it under their own steam. It's raising that bar again to show them that they have abilities to live life and not look at the disability.
A support team that includes active duty Rangers and Green Berets is on hand to help with the climb. Others are volunteers who just want to say thank you.
I believe it's my responsibility to do it, that I am my brother's keeper. That when guys come back wounded, it's not the government's job to find them and to assist them. I think every Christian has a responsibility to be our brother's keeper.
Retired Green Beret Gil Magallanes is one of the disabled vets making the climb. He says these extreme adventures help overcome the mental wounds of war.
One of the biggest factors about keeping me from becoming a couch potato, depression, PTSD, I got to keep challenging myself.
In this loose snow, you quickly realize it's best to find someone else's footprint and literally follow in their steps. We're a little over an hour into the climb, and even though this is a fairly steep ascent here in loose snow, this is the easy part, we're told.
The summit attempt is the most demanding section of the climb. The men must wear ropes and harnesses. Facing below freezing temperatures, the team navigates steep volcanic ridges, crosses over moving glaciers, all while fighting the high altitude for every breath of the thin air. The team eventually makes it to the top, 14,411 feet to the summit of Mount Rainier. These wounded American heroes beat the odds, reigniting their fighter instincts and proving to themselves that anything is possible.
When you see guys with one leg stomping to the top, and then you think about what you can't do in life, and you see that, it really is humbling. And that's what allows them to earn back that was taken from them on the day that that bomb exploded or they got shot.
I'm really glad that I'm out here, and I'm really glad that you know, I got to meet the guys that I've met. I'm definitely hoping to, you know, build and sustain some relationships with these guys.
Relationships Camp Patriot uses to heal the wounds of war while showing these American heroes the love of Christ. Lee Webb, CBN News, Mount Rainier, Washington.
And we'll be right back.
When you're driving along and your cell phone rings, do your eyes instantly go off the road? Then you need to get a grip. Hi, David Jones here with the new GripGo, the most versatile hands-free mount that will instantly grip any phone for safe driving. Just attach the suction cup to your windshield or dash, and GripGo grabs your phone ultra fast. Then it peels right off. And don't worry, there's no sticky residue left behind. The 360-degree pivoting mount allows you to always get the perfect viewing angle. It's even strong enough to grab and hold this expensive smartphone out the window. Yet it comes right off with ease. That's the advantage of GripGo. You can get the amazing GripGo with dashboard mount for only $14.95. We'll send you a second kit free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Get 2 complete GripGo systems for just $14.95.
To order GripGo for $14.95 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-709-5259 or order online at getgripgo.com.
Jim is 38, mortgage, married, 3 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. Jim can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $19 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll comparison shop the pick of insurance companies like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. Jim's wife, Deidre, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Operation Blessing teams helped repair a West African orphanage. Mother Edith started the orphanage with only 1 child she found on the side of the road. Today she cares for nearly 100 children, many of them orphaned by war, poverty, and disease. Operation Blessing teams helped repair and reinforce the mud brick walls of the orphanage with concrete. They also painted the interior and exterior, put in a new floor, as well as replaced the roof. Mother Edith told the Operation Blessing staff their work has filled her heart with joy. Indeed, it has. A wonderful work. That's going to do it for this hour of the CBN News Channel. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. And take the time to tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that on Facebook or at CBN News on Twitter. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Have a wonderful Memorial Day.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957. Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. all the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.